Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Spencer Penrod. I'm a world builder who makes worlds for stories and D&D campaigns and things like that. Today we're jumping back into Has Been Hotel. We checked out the pilot last episode, where we watched Charlie kind of getting this hotel set up. The name was given to it by the radio demon who decided to sponsor them. We saw a lot of interesting implications for how hell works, where demons come from, their relationship with heaven and redemption and things like that. So I'm hoping to get more into some of those things here. I don't really know what to expect from the series, though. The pilot obviously gave a good idea on what to expect as far as tone and characters and all that. But I don't really know much else about this series. So I don't know where it'll go from there. We're looking at the first episode today, and I don't even know whether that's like a rehash of the pilot or something new, a continuation. So I guess we'll find out. With that, let's just go ahead and jump into it.
Once upon a time, there was a glowing city protected by golden gates, known as heaven. It was ruled by beings of pure light, angels that worshipped good and shielded.
So it's interesting that this is their depiction of angels. This is kind of the biblically accurate angel that you tend to see, but it's not the most common angelic design. It's a lot more monstrous than you typically see them presented. So it's interesting that both heaven and hell seem like they're filled with beings that are beyond human profiles. They are warped and kind of monstrous. It's an interesting reflection of them.
All from evil. Lucifer was one of these angels. He was a dreamer with fantastical ideas for all of creation, but he was seen as a troublemaker by the elders of heaven, for they felt his way of thinking was dangerous to the order of their world. So he watched as the angels began to expand the universe in their ways. From the dust of earth they created Adam and Lilith, equals as the first of mankind, but despite this, Adam demanded control, and Lilith refused to submit to his will. She fled the garden. Drawn in by her fierce independence, Lucifer found her, and the two rebellious dreamers fell deeply in love. Together, they wished to share the magic of free will with humanity, offering the fruit of knowledge to Adam's new bride, Eve, who gladly accepted. But this gift came with a curse. For with this single act of disobedience, evil finally found its way into Earth. With it, a new realm of darkness and sin, and the order heaven had worked to maintain was shattered. As punishment for their reckless act, heaven cast Lucifer and his love into the dark pit he had created, never allowing him to see the good that came from humanity, only the cruel and the wicked. Ashamed, Lucifer lost his will to dream.
So, a few interesting implications here are that apparently in hell, you can't view the mortal world, because otherwise he would be able to see what's going on, what's good in the world. So he can't see the mortal world. He can't see heaven, which makes sense. It's its own thing, but it's very much isolated, it seems. It's also interesting that the creation of hell was more the result of introducing free will to people than an intentional thing meant to punish demons. We had wondered a bit where demons came from before. It seemed like there were demons that were kind of born into hell or created for hell, as well as humans who had died and fallen into sin. But here it seems like the majority of hell is just humans. Maybe it'll tell us more later to get a different picture. But right now it seems like Lucifer and Lilith are the original demons, and everyone else must be coming from Earth because hell was only created when Earth was introduced to the ability to sin.
But Lilith thrived, empowering demonkind with her voice and so did its power. Threatened by this, Heaven made a truly heartless decision. That every year they would send down an army, an extermination, to ensure Hell and its sinners could never rise against them. But Lilith's hope remained.
We had speculated in the pilot whether that extermination was legitimately there to cull overpopulation or if it was some kind of excuse. And it sounds like now we are hearing pretty definitively that it's just an excuse. It's not about overpopulation, it's just about keeping Hell oppressed. So that makes a lot of sense with what we had seen. It kind of felt like things were leaning in that direction already, but it's nice to get the direct confirmation that we were right there.
And her dream was passed down to their precious daughter, the Princess of Hell.
Oh, and it's interesting to hear that Lilith and Lucifer are Charlie's parents. We knew she was the Princess of Hell. And so I guess it makes sense if Lucifer is the ruler of Hell, but we had no idea who they were before. It makes me wonder how old she is. She seems young, but it also seems like if they have been in love since the creation of humanity, even if that is not very long ago in a cosmic sense, it seems like having a soul daughter would, because she has to be their only kid because she is the heir to the throne of Hell despite being estranged from them. It seems like there'd be a good chance that she's actually really old despite looks. It's also interesting to note that I had wondered if her attitude came because she was kind of doted on by her parents, which seemed like it was debunked because they wouldn't talk to her and thought of her as a failure. But now it seems like maybe she was inheriting their ability to dream and view things positively that they may have lost over time. So it did come from the parents after all and has a bit of an explanation.
Don't worry, Mom. I'll make you proud.
Charlie?
Oh, shit! Did you hear all that?
Yeah, I was right there.
Sorry, I get pretty worked up after an extermination happens. The story helps.
I know, don't worry. I enjoy your theatrics. Are you okay?
I'm fine, just thinking, family stuff.
Did you hear from your mom yet? Oof, how long has it been now?
Not that long, only 7 years off doing something important, I'm sure. But this kingdom was something she really cared about. Something I care about.
Well, at least you aren't alone.
I just hope what I'm trying to do here will work.
It will. I have faith in you. All right, come on. Alistair says he has something to show us.
We had also wondered before about whether I can't go frame by frame on Amazon, dang it. About whether the exterminations were something perpetrated by Hell or by Heaven. The story told us that it was Heaven doing it. But it's notable to me that we see this bell tower was in the pilot. It has the countdown to the extermination, which is pretty hard to see from this distance. But 356 days because they just had an extermination. It wasn't all angelic like this before. So this definitely confirms that it's angels doing this and maintaining a presence to count down rather than just some kind of sadistic thing that Hell does. It's also interesting for me that we've seen the eyeball motif in the architecture and technology that Hell has, but it looks like that extends even to the architecture of Heaven. It makes sense with how many eyeballs those angels had, but it's not like very angelic, not in a typical sense to have eyeballs over everything. Maybe that's not even an eyeball because it's only half of one. But to me, it looks like a squinting eyeball. And so it would be interesting if heaven also has the same tendency to use eyeballs and organic creatures and technologies, things like that. Lastly, this was in the pilot, but I never made note of it. At the top here, I can't actually circle it with my mouse because then this pop-up happens. But we see that the sky has like a pentagram in it. I never brought it up because it never seemed to do anything. And so I didn't quite know what to make of it and was waiting to bring it up until something happened. But it seems like that's not going to happen for a little bit at least. And so I just wanted to make note of it, that there is this giant pentagram in the sky. My guess is that it's some kind of seal to keep hell contained. But it's interesting that it's very intentionally in all of the shots of the sky we've seen. So it definitely has some kind of meaning. I just don't know for sure what it is yet.
Well, there, you wayward sinner. Do you like blood, violence, and depravity of a sexual nature? Of course you do. That's why you're in hell. But what would you say if I told you there was a place to stay that had none of that? Welcome to the Has-Been Hotel, a misguided path to redemption. Founded 5 days ago by Lucifer's delusional daughter, Charlotte Morningstar. Come place your fate in her inexperienced hands as she tries to work through her daddy issues by fixing you. Here we offer fun things, such as somewhat functional staff and 24-hour pest control, custom rooms, and just look at this turkey parlor. Enjoy riveting conversation with our singular resident. Wow! All this and more at the Has-Been.
Interesting what this says. Ship, I guess. Danger, authorized personnel only. Nope, it says hotel now. The best part is the tower. No tacky circus decor, I promise. $1 to get in, 50% off. All right, just nothing terribly notable here except just a goofy little advert, I guess.
You actually think I'd be cleaning bottles and listening to you fucks bitch and moan all the time if you wasn't forcing me?
I like being forced.
Keep that to yourself, Nev.
Okay, so it's been a while. We are mostly having character interactions here and not much to say. But I did want to note a few things we've seen. We see that Charlie's dad is willing to call her. So he thinks she's a loser based on the pilot. But apparently not so much that he's not willing to call and talk to her. Maybe it's just calling to mock her. We'll see. I was hoping that we would follow them instead of this conversation. We also see that Alistair has the power to force people to stay here and doesn't want to because he's just in this for the fun. And it's not fun if he just forces people to stay here. He wants to see if anyone is actually willing. Other than that, I don't know that we've really gotten much about the world to look at. Nothing unique, at least. We've got like the really weird atmosphere of this hotel, but it doesn't tell us anything about the world in general. So yeah, I don't know. It's basically just been talking and gags so far. I hope we get more to the world because I'm interested to learn more about that.
What? You don't love being here with me, Whiskers?
Call me Whiskers again and I'll jam that bottle down your throat.
Kinky. Come on, keep talking dirty.
Angel, let Husk do his job. And no, we can't force sinners to stay here. They need to choose to.
I'm choosing to be here, and I think it's all stupid. We're in hell, Toots. That's kind of the end of the road, ain't it?
Well, maybe it doesn't have to be. Just because nobody has made it out before doesn't mean it's not possible.
So this sounds like a diversion from, or not diversion. It's changing things a little bit from how the pilot presented them, where they weren't sure if redemption was possible, but they were pursuing redemption as an alternative method of changing souls. The extermination was supposed to be changing them when it killed them. At least that was the implication, with redemption being an alternative. So either this means that alternative is just a really weird word that they chose, or that things have changed a little bit. But in either case, even if we just assume that they're saying no one has been redeemed like they're wanting to before, it's an interesting implication, because it means that what they're after here is just some completely untested idea that's not only ridiculous to the citizens of Hell on the surface, but may not even be possible. And they're so optimistic that they think it's going to work despite that. But I wonder what they're basing it off of. Like, they have to have some idea that makes them think this is a possibility. But I don't know what it could be if this has never been tested, or presumably even hinted at, because everyone thinks it's ridiculous. I guess maybe what they're doing is just counting on the good nature of the good nature of heaven, and thinking that if there were good people in hell, then heaven wouldn't just kill them. They would want to protect them like they do all good. I guess that makes sense to me.
Hey, whatever means I can keep crashing here rent-free. Crack is expensive.
Yeah, I can. Totally. Yeah, I'll head over there right away. Okay. Huh. Yes. Yes! Holy shit!
Ah, what? What's going on?
My dad just called. He said that the leader of the Angel Army wants to meet. He asked if I could go instead.
But the extermination just happened. What could they want this soon after?
I can do this. Somehow I know it. I'll get heaven behind my plans.
Charlie, hold on.
There's just no way I could blow it. Not this once in a lifetime chance.
It's just a meeting.
To change their minds and touch their hearts, or whatever angels have.
This could be bad.
Cheer up, Maggie.
I wonder if the reason why she likes expressing herself in musicals so much in singing is because her mom is Lilith, who was hinted at being like a performer of some sort. And I guess in this episode confirmed to be a performer who sang to hell. So she kind of raised her with this attitude of singing, and it's persisted and turned her into like this musical protagonist, despite the rest of the world. That'd be a fun little detail.
This could be swell. Something tells me that today will be a happy day in hell.
Okay, just don't sing to them.
That bitch is halfway down the street. She's dancing.
It's a warm, fuzzy feeling that walks through the air. Every street so revealing, it's hard not to stare. It's a realm so appealing, it beats anywhere. If you don't mind the smell, it's a happy day in hell. Hi, mister.
Fuck yourself! There's an endless trash fire that's burning my soul.
Hello.
Ton of barbed wire to shove in his hole.
Excuse me.
What is required? We all have our role. I'm not doing well.
Another shitty day in hell.
If I can show them the dream I've dreamed, that any soul can change.
So here we hear that it's just her dream. She's kind of hinted at hinted at inheriting the dreaming ability from her parents that at least Lucifer has lost. So it makes sense that she is kind of a dreamer. But I guess what this is saying is that there's really no basis on anything. It's just a hope she has, which is kind of sad. Not that it dooms them, but that it explains why no one is taking her seriously, at least. If hell is kind of presented as this place to take people's dreams away, and she and potentially Lilith are some of the only people who retain that ability, they would seem really ridiculous in comparison to the rest of the people here. I'm also wondering why Lucifer is choosing to send Charlie to this meeting if he thinks she is a failure. Like, it seems like that can only go poorly. So I wonder what the reasoning behind that is. I guess we'll find out.
Everyone can be redeemed from the evil to the I should hear all their stories, the lost and displaced. And I know that they're more of an acquired taste. But if I open the door and I give them a place at my has-been hotel, it'll be a happy day in hell. From the porn studio where the cinephiles go to watch award-winning TV hockey shows, to the gamble town where they don't wear a frown 'cause oh shit, oh my gosh, why? And I don't care for that. His brains got in my eye, 'cause I know I can spare them from heaven's genocide. I see this fresh fire that's burning my soul. I'll get heaven behind my hands. There's just no way I can show it. Not this once in a lifetime chance to change their minds.
And touch my parts.
No thank you. I'm just gonna fulfill my destiny.
Yes, bitch.
I can already tell. Today is gonna be a fucking happy day. Hello? 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 Creepy. Oh, okay. Also creepy.
This is making me feel like what we've seen of hell so far is that it's largely technological, and there are people with powers, like Alistair. But for the most part, it seems like technology is what society functions off of. Whereas so far, we've seen very little of heaven, but it's looking like it's more based around magic or mysticism of some sort. They do have technology. It's not like they are lagging behind modern technology from the looks of things, but it also looks like they are supplementing that with a lot of magic.
Hello? Is anyone here?
Sup?
Oh, shit. Hi, I'm Charlie. My dad asked me if I could meet you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, it's nice to meet you.
Totally. Nice to meet you too.
Oh.
I fucking got you. Did you fuck?
These guys look exactly like the angels on the posters. They are presumably angels because they're here. So far, though, their attitude and their look is rather odd for angels to have. So it's interesting that they are the representatives of hell, or sorry, of heaven, because they are just so different than what you would think. And I wonder if the reason why they look exactly like the posters is because these people are like the face of heaven to the denizens of hell. And they like personally perform the executions, the exterminations, That would make a lot of sense, at least.
Fucking see that? Good shit.
So wait, you aren't here?
No. You think I'd come down there? I mean, I love the vibe. Totally. I love your tunes. Pretty fucking hardcore, don't get me wrong. But it's such a bummer, man. Everything down there is just so blah, you know? Ew.
Right. So I'm happy we got this opportunity to meet. There's a project I've been working on that I really want to talk to you about.
Hey, slow down. We got time. How about we get to know each other a little? How about some lunch? You hungry? I got you. Here's my personal favorite. You'll love it.
Thanks.
I got you again, bitch! Fucking hilarious!
Okay, so Charlie's dealing with something very important, so while she's gone, we are making a new commercial. One that represents her vision and what we're doing here. So, we need a camera. Alistair? A video camera? Alright, let's do this. And... action.
Welcome to the Has-Been Hotel. Can I help you with anything?
I've been a bad boy, and I need a big, strong daddy to put me in my place. On the path to redemption.
Well, you come
Oh, yes!
to the right place.
Cut! Okay, Angel, I need you to be less horny, if possible, and Husk, can you maybe not have the script in front of your face?
I ain't no actor. I can't memorize this shit.
Well, we could improv this shit, baby cakes.
Whoops.
Husk, come on!
So I was playing this gig, and for some fucking reason, this virtue chick was digging on the drummer, and it's like, do you know who I am? I'm fucking Adam. I'm the original Dick. All dicks descend from me. You think you want drummer dick? No!
So we have gotten heavy implications that when someone goes to hell, their body is changed to be demonic and strange. This is the first time we've seen that that is also true in heaven, that humans don't retain their human look there, but they become something else. It's hard to say something angelic because these guys do look more like traditional demons. There really doesn't seem to be much of a difference between the two, except for the halo. In either case, it's interesting that it seems like there's nowhere that humans can retain their appearance after death. They are always warped and changed. And I wonder if there's some method to that, or if it's just complete randomness.
Way. I'm the dick fucking master. So, anyway, and we fucked, and it was awesome.
I think it's very funny that Adam is eating ribs here, by the way, because in the Bible, Adam had his rib removed to create Eve. I feel like that has to be an intentional joke, and I doubt we're getting into it here, but it's just a point that I've noticed and find entertaining.
Oops, almost out of time. Guess we should get into it.
Oh, fuck! Ugh. Okay, I've got a lot to get through and not a lot of time, and I feel like you weren't hearing me before, so here goes.
She does have magic. Is this in service of the musical number 2?
I know hell's population.
It is. So we saw her in the pilot potentially summoning things, but this is the first time she's actually like proven that it was magic. It could have been something else before. Once again, though, it is just in service of her getting to sing. I wonder if it's a limit or just how she likes to use her power. Also, I wonder if she made these things before or if she conjured little crayon drawings and created them with magic. That would be funny. So they've presumably been doing this extermination for a long time, because they have the history of hell that has led to this. But if they're only now choosing to move it up, it makes me wonder if something has changed in heaven, or if really they're just so bored and finally got around to doing something about it. either case is interesting. I'm kind of leaning towards them just being bored. Adam seems like a total jerk. And if we assume that all angels are like that, it would make sense that one of them is finally like, what if we just killed them more frequently? But it's strange that it took so long.
Charlie! How did it go? Did they listen?
Oh, they sure did hear it. But,
Oh, come here. We have something exciting to show you. Alistair pulled some strings and it's about to air.
I pulled a few limbs too.
wait, the commercial? You all made a new one?
Yeah, one of my better performances, if I do say so myself.
That's amazing.
Shh, it's starting.
Welcome to the Has-Been Hotel.
Breaking news in hell today. We have just received word from the Heaven Embassy that the next extermination is happening sooner than ever before. Do you know what that means, Tom? No, what does that mean, Katie? It means we're all royally fucked.
Wait, what? Why?
We found the body, sir. They've never managed to kill one of us before. We should just go down there now and destroy them.
No. We can't risk them catching on. But don't worry. When we come back, there won't be a demon left alive to pull a stunt like this again.
Oh, well, I guess that answers that question. It wasn't that they just got bored or something randomly changed. It's that the situation in Hell changed. One of them finally died attacking Hell, and so they're just going to kill all of them. It's weird, though. You would think they'd be patient enough to wait an extra 6 months. And it's not like... They say they don't want to tip people off. But moving it up at all is definitely going to tip them off. So I feel like that is a strange justification. And I feel like if they were really wanting to eradicate Hell, they could just do it on no notice. There must then be some kind of logistics preventing them from retaliating immediately. And they have to wait at least 6 months for whatever reason. Maybe you can't cross into Hell that frequently, or I don't know. Yeah, in any case, I liked the show. It was interesting to watch, but I feel like there were a lot less details to notice than there were in the pilot. We were mostly dealing with just conversations between characters in a static location, and that didn't give us a lot to work with. Hopefully, future episodes will be better. I'm really interested by the world and what they're presenting, but it's being pretty lean with the details so far. So I hope we get some more details in the future. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. I hope you stick around to watch more of the series. If you don't want to wait around, you can join the Patreon and get early access to the backlog. Thank you, and I will see you next time.